crisis, Hungary's Prime Minister, his Chief of Staff, says, wait for it, President Obama is deliberately trying to fill Europe with illegal Muslim immigrants. Joining us now is Jasser from the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Now, we wouldn't normally bring our viewers this kind of, basically a conspiracy theory. We don't do that kind of thing on this program, but we're remembering the source. This is the Chief of Staff to Hungary's Prime Minister. He came right out and said it, that it's President Obama trying to do this to Europe. What's your reaction?
Well, I'll tell you, Stuart, I think Europe is busting at the seams, and they're trying to figure out how to get back their homeland, how to get back their national security. And if anyone's doing it deliberately, obviously it's the Assad regime, the Russians, the Iranians, who want to depopulate Syria of Sunnis, and they just sort of push them into Europe. Now, President Obama, Secretary Kerry have turned a blind eye to the Islamist threat, to the jihadist threat. So through their incompetence, through their negligence, through their vacuum of leadership, they've allowed this to happen. It's time for NATO, until NATO and through the leadership of President Obama, declare Islamists and jihadists the enemy, declare war on this ideology globally. You're going to continue to hear statements like this from those in the free world who want to see us protect our homeland. And as long as we don't, we're going to continue to be threatened by the ideology that is a Trojan horse within some of these movements.
It puts you in a very difficult position, that's for sure. Listen, please, to what Monica Crowley said about the migrant crisis on this program yesterday. Roll tape.
Now we're seeing more conservative parties, right-wing parties, gaining strength across Western Europe because the people are saying enough. How many terrorists are we letting in this influx of migrants? And don't we need to take care of our own security?
Zudi, I think she's right. There is an extreme reaction taking place in Europe, and it's building by the day against the Muslim migrants.
And this is why we need to have some clarity from our leadership about pausing all immigration, not just saying Muslims, but all immigration, because Muslims are part of the solution. We have to have engagement with Muslims that want to vet against Islamists and against jihadists. But the threat, by the way, most of the terror threats is coming from homegrown terrorists who go to Syria and come back. So no matter how much you try to vet refugees, the threat is going to continue to be there. Even our airport personnel, studies have shown that many ISIS sympathizers have clearances that are homegrown citizens of these countries. So until we figure out the ideology, populist movements are going to try to take back their homeland and create this equal and opposite response that's going to be just as dysfunctional, because the leaders don't have the strength to declare war on Islamism and jihadism.
You served for 11 years in America's Navy, and I'll say it again, this kind of thing puts you, a very moderate guy, in a very difficult position here in America. But we thank you very much for coming on the show, as you always do. Thank you, Zudi. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Stuart. Appreciate it.